this one's looking weird on there. Light too bright. I'm just using red thread on that. I think that looks pretty cool. Put a little D-ring on it. It's a little thick. And bulky. Very bulky. Are you gonna get through that or no? Not too shabby. I gotta read the pattern. It's only the second or third time making this bag, so I'm just gonna go slow. Do it right. Could just wing it, but I will mess something up. I have tape, but I don't like it. I got this vinyl. Where did I get this? I don't remember. One of the local stores have them on a roll. And this feels like sugared nails. So it's got like almost a sandy texture to it. It's smooth, but it's got that rough feel to it. It's okay. I swear this is too wide. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Clip it with that. That should be okay. This is going to be for the little strap that goes on the side of it. And I just, instead of taping, I'll fold and then I'll just move my clips down. And then that way I don't have to use tape. I've got some tape, but it's, I don't know what brand it is, but it looks like it's made out of, I don't even know. It's some sort of food product. I don't know. Anyway, it's supposed to wash away, but it doesn't stick very well. Am I doing this wrong? Ooh, shit, yeah, I'm doing this wrong. Okay, so let's back out. Arm done. Alright. So let's put this on. And then we close at the ends, right? Yeah. So we open these. Connect at the end. Put a little clip in that. Wrap. Maybe I want it right up here. So there we go. Right. Sewing at about a 4 millimeter. Here. Alright. Final. So we will press this with our fingers. And then we will re-fold. Ooh, it's so bulky. Anyway. Re-clamp it here. Into a ring. I have a heater on. It's cold in here for some reason. All right. So I'm going to top stitch it like this. I have a little baby super slim foot on right now. I keep it on. It misses the feed dogs, which I don't like, but it works good for everything else. As long as you see that the things are feeding correctly on one side. I don't see the need to change it. So I'm going to keep it at the 4 millimeter. I'm going to try to get it over this hump without any problems here. But ooh. It should be okay. I think this foot is called the really narrow or very narrow Juki foot. It works really good on this machine. All of their feet work really good on this machine. So I like those. They're stainless, so if you want to put all your feet up on a magnet somewhere, you can do that. The ones that come with a brother, you can't do that. Ugh, looks like it's cracking. That's what you get for buying it at a Joann's. The red stitching looks so cool. You gotta keep moving this as you sew. It's all good. Sparkles are killer though. Seriously. What do I need to do? Oh, I gotta go again. Is this glitter falling off? Oh boy. Alright, we're getting over the lump here. So go slow. And then right where the back stitching goes, I'll move this down to there, and then here's where the two fabrics come together. I'll bring that so that it's just, I don't know, an inch or so away from there. And then I can either sew here or I can put a rivet in there. I could do both. I've done both. That's fine. But maybe I'll leave it and then rivet that little part because I have a rivet that'll match this color. I think that'd look pretty cool. So this one's done. Put that off to the side. Okay, fold both. What are we doing here? This is the fabric. If you have a cool design that you can think of, you can go to Spoonflower and they will print it on a bunch of different kinds of fabrics. This one is the twill. It's a little bit thicker than the normal, like the quilting cottons and stuff, but I did back it with SF101. This one, I had black. That's what I had left over. It doesn't show once you put everything together, so that's fine. All right, then we're gonna mark the centers. We'll just match up this corner. I have the centers marked on my patterns, but I don't transfer them. You make a pen mark, but this works good because you can see it on the front and the back, and you sew it out. Like you don't, don't clip it so far that you'll mess up the look of your bag. My iron blurped out on this one. My iron almost died that day. But when I get my fabrics, if I'm going to use them for something like this, I just go ahead and iron on the interfacing so that it's there when I cut my fabrics and I'm not cutting out multiples of multiples of multiples. It takes me all day to do that. So this works out really good to just put it on and then cut what you need. And then this is going to be the bottom part of the bag, so they go like this. So you're going to want to find the centers of this one too. A matching center, I'll match this little piece. And then I just clip it about 1/8 of an inch. So not too big, but you know, you can see it if you're working with it. Like on camera, I'm not sure that you can see it, but it's very visible when you're sewing it. I have a little scissor to snip all of my vinyl, but am I using it? I'll just clean this up there. I might need these actually. Okay, then we're going to take the bottom of one of these and the top of one of these, and we're going to match right sides together at that middle. And I clip right on the middle. Let's move this. I like to have the red part on the top. And then we're just going to match the edge where it starts to not match. I'll put a clip. Okay. And then I'll move it again. And then it starts to not match here. So when I do this, these get pretty close together. So it's not hard to do. It's just, you just gotta know when your tipping point is. On the bag pattern, they show this part getting real ruffly, but if I just curve the outer curve, it seems to fit everything easier for me. And then when I stitch it and lay it flat, then it'll look the same just because you're matching up both edges quite perfectly. I will take this end piece and clip here, and then I'll hold it and I'll put another clip because when I start to sew it, my presser foot needs to go there. So these will get removed. This end clip well, actually it's on this side, but I'll sew from this end. So I'm sewing backwards from the pattern. But however you do it is good, you know. So if you do it the other way, like the pattern shows, do it that, whatever works for you. There's no wrong way. just going to do a few minutes of this. I have a heater on and my birds are tweeting, so that's the background noise here. I have a dove, he's the noisiest. All right, so it's all even. There's no puckers in it. And then they want us to sew. Does it say 1/2 inch? Stitch the exterior top and bottom. Okay, seam allowance is always 3/8. That'll do. All right, take this one off. Sparkles. Just let me go. If I'm sewing on vinyl, I keep the stitch length pretty long. I keep it at a 4. If it's just 2 of the regular fabrics coming together, I'm gonna tighten this down a little bit. Then I'll maybe tighten up the stitch length to like a 2.5. I prefer that when it's 2 cottons coming together. This will do. This is fine. Okay, and then when you flip it, it lays flat. So you can snip the edge. It'll lay flat without doing that. And then we're going to top stitch. I still do a 4 for a top stitch. And then this little foot is 1/8 of an inch, so I just run right along the edge of it. You can go as slow as you need to get that to fit in there just right. And just open up the fabric so that it lays flat. You see that through the sparkles? That red really sets it off real nice. You can trim that bulk out. I just leave it. It helps it lay smooth later on. Next. Oops. Oh, there we go. But just take your time. It'll come together. Curves a little bit. It's supposed to do that. Your fabric curls up. If your vinyl is softer, that might lay flatter. But this is, I backed it though, so it's very stiff. If you don't have these clips, go to the dollar store and get their binder clips, little black. They're like the big paper clip things. Those will hold really well. Those hold nice and tight. These Wonder Clip things are kind of spendy, and if you don't have that cash, those binder clips will do just they work just the same. All right, let's get that under the wheel here. When the clips are upside down, they're way easier to take off. I don't know why that is. Is it just me? Feel like there's a rumple, if you just tug it and hold it down, it smooths right out. see what I want to be the front, back. Does it matter in this pattern? I don't remember. Trim the corners. I didn't get much of a corner, but let's do it. I hope that's the corner they meant. Oh, yeah. These or these? I can't tell. What you're telling me to do here. Snip center. You got to do that anyway. So. This stuff is cotton. It's called duck canvas at Joann's. I don't know, but it's good. I like it. Nice and hefty. The center is marked. Did I do that to these? I don't remember. And right sides. I leave it at the top. Okay. This is a pocket. It's heavily lined. Should I not have done that? I don't know. Anyways. Oops. Whitey. Get all the strays out of there if you mess up. Right sides together. Okay, let's go again. I'm not sure if I like the shape of this. Why not? Okay. There's seam allowance, except at the opening. This little scissor has a micro serrated, so I like it when I'm cutting all of this thick stuff. And then want me to go in. Clipping the corners. It's not slipping, it's not struggling. Killing me. Out. I feel like I did something wrong here. Well, it says to use the lining fabric to make this pocket, but I accidentally cut this upside down for another pattern. So it's a directional fabric, so I just use this for the pocket, no biggie. Poke out your corners, your rounded edges. I keep poking until I see the thread. Is that too much? Can't get it all. Use something like this. Sometimes the plastic is too weak, so I'll use this. It's a heavy duty one. I don't remember where I got this. Did it come with one of my machines? Could be. Do I have a thread here for what? Come on. What's that for my oopsie? I have a baby iron right down here, so I'm just gonna smooth this out. I don't like that yet. Top a little bit. I don't like this corner. But you work at it until you get it how you like it. Like that one doesn't look like it's out enough, so I go more. Now that looks better than this side. So let's do this one again. Nice and pointy. Is there a thread there? The bird must be sleeping. All right, we're going to top stitch. Top stitch the top edge. Okay. still sounds like it needs to be replaced. Like, why? Cool. You could have a blood spatter. It's on the back or on the pocket. Cool. Otherwise, more serial killers. I like that. Who's that? Berkowitz. His head chopped off up here. All right. That's the slip pocket. Ooh, this is fun. Yeah. One lighting piece. Centering it nicely. Can you give me more direction than that? Here's the center. I'm not going to do any marking. Let's put a little pinch. Pinch. How far down? It will not tell me. I'm going right here too. Why? Why, bro? Why? I'm confused. I don't normally put slip pockets in these little bags. Okay, I'll do that, but I don't want. Must be a reason for this. This stitch. Centered. Just do it. Just do it. It's a weird thing to tell me to do. Okay, 1.5 inches. What an awful noise. I should put a needle in this. One more. Here, you stay there. 1.5. I swear that's what it told me to do. Anyway, if it's wrong, we'll fix it later. Take your zipper tab and fold it. Matching shorter ends. This must not be my zipper tab. Oh, all right, this must be it. Okay, I gotta fold this. Iron it. Wrong sides together. Say no more, I'm on it. I got 2 zipper tabs though. What are these actually? I think it wants to do the normal fold to the center, fold to the center, fold it as one, press. Folding them to the center, pressing it even. Take your zipper and trim off about 3/8 of the zipper tape at both ends. Zipper. Should be 8 inches. Take off the metal bits. Cut it. And then measure down 8, and then I'll save this piece because I have extras of these. And I just put them on the bottom when I need a small piece of zipper. Let's get to cutting. Now let me switch this shut. That might make it easier on me. There we go. All right. I'm going to trim right up against that. Not even really looks like. Don't catch fire. I'm going to go 8. Great. The total length of your zipper. 1 8-inch zipper. Okay. It says 1 8-inch zipper. And then here, am I confused? And then it says your zipper should be 9 inches. Okay, anyway, let's do 9. Thank goodness I looked. Just gonna do a little snippy doodle here. This piece I'll save for another project. Mark the center of your zipper before attaching the tab. I'm not marking the center before I put the tab on. No, I'm not going to do that. Let's put this on first. Since it's crooked, we'll melt that. Oops. If it melts like that, try to avoid sewing that. I'm going to break a needle. See? Mediums. It's just about a 3. Shove it, the zipper all the way in. Don't hurt me. Sorry, I melted it too much. Oh, that's good. I'm gonna open my zipper just a little so I can reach. And this will go all the way back as far as it'll go. Close it in there. And sew over that. I'm sewing over this. I just kind of pinch these together. I'm as close as they can be. And it wants you to trim off these little, you see it, my shirt's making it weird. These little extra bits. Use my vinyl scissors. We don't know why we backstitched, but we did. Not much waste. market. It'll snip the zipper. It frays a lot, especially the chalk mark on it. I do the back, front and back, just in case I need it. You can see. Pin your zipper right side up. Trying to think of. It doesn't really say. Zipper should be 9 inches. And then right here it says your zipper should be 8 inches. Do I have enough room there? Seam allowance. Whatever. Line up your middles. Fabric to fabric you can pin. I'm scared that these are too long. You just don't want it in the seam allowance, right? Got a good amount there. Last time I made this, I didn't know what I was doing anyway, so it all worked out. Pin it right side up along the top curved edge of one panel. Also right side up. I can't tell. Just stitch the zipper in place. So a big old stitch, then a 5. take one of your exterior panels and place it. Right side together. Oh, I couldn't understand. It's abbreviated. All right, we got the zipper. It'll be on the left when we flip, so we want this one. All right. Baste, stitch the zipper in place. Did that. Stitch all layers together with a 1/4 inch seam. Stitching that in so we can see the previous stitching. And the zipper. Sandwich is perfectly in there. Okay, it still match up. Oh yeah, it does. They're everywhere. Okay. 1/4 inch. Let's tighten this up a little bit. 4-ish. Really sharp. I got this caught on my foot. Set you free. Is that the zipper? I might want to just move that. I didn't go far enough. Are we still good yet? If you don't have a knee lifter on your sewing machine, like you don't know what you're missing from day one. It worked well for me. I can't go back to my old machine. That one right there, because it doesn't have it, and I have no idea what I'm doing anymore. Was I supposed to go all the way to the end? I can't clip it. There's a zipper in the way. Anyway. So you'll see your zipper stitching and then the stitching that I just did. You can just see the one layer of stitching on this side. Oh, it says to clip this, but your zipper is there. So I don't think you want to clip that. Anyway, we're gonna pull these out and away from each other. Since these are both fabric and a zipper, you can press these with an iron. If there was vinyl here, then don't do it. Like, don't touch the iron down here. And you pull them all away from the zipper and then just press it. Oh, his head got chopped off. I just sewed off the Night Stalker's head. Oh, God. And then while I'm ironing, just making sure that these bottom edges line up. And then we'll go through and do a top stitching right up along this edge. The fabric that's going to be showing, I always top stitch on that no matter how inconvenient. So if this bag was all together and I had to put it through in a clamshell, and so I would do it just to have the top stitching looks the best when you put it on top when you're doing it. The stitches just look more like 3D like. It's hard to explain, but I'm gonna move it my number to a 4mm. Like the stitches look like puffier on the top. On the back, it's kind of flat. Oh, it's my zipper making that little crunchy noise. Since I pressed it, I don't worry about stretching anything out while I'm going. Sometimes I do, or if it was vinyl. Repeat steps to attach the second exterior panel. Lining panel. Base to stitch the zipper. All right, I gotta make sure I go slow here. Okay, so pin your zipper. Right side up along the curved edge of one lining panel, also right side up, right side up, right side up. Okay. Find your middle. And then this should just naturally match the curve. Oh, my bird's waking up from his nap. He's the one he taught my parakeet that he should be liking bread because he had bread as a treat every now and then. And the parakeet's like, I ain't touching that. And he's like, no, dude, you need to try this. It's so cute. Wait a minute. What was I supposed to do with this? I should just lay pretty flat. And then you're going to do an 1/8 inch. Ooh, let's lower that just a smidge. I feel like I'm doing this wrong. Anyway, I haven't made enough bags to really know what feels right, and I'm like, oh, this makes me feel weird right now. I like to clip all these strays as I'm going. Some of them get caught in the bag in a weird way like this, and then it's hard to get out. So I just clean it up as I go. No threads hanging. All right, now what? All right, do that. Base stitch. Take one of your exterior, this guy. Right sides together, matching the middle. The end. I'm going to stitch on the side where I can see the thread. So make sure it all gets caught in there, but an 1/8, and then you're going to go a 1/4. So you won't hit it, but you know, I just like to see where I'm at. This part should lay together real nice. You don't need to pin all of this, but if there's a bulge, then I'm going to put something there just to help it lay flat. And we'll across the full thing. Wait, I want this is a 1/4 inch here. Keep my stitch length pretty tight. Alright, where's my zipper end? It's way over here. Okay. Don't worry about it until then. Release all of these, and I'm just going to pull my zipper out of the way. It's already stitched on to the other side of the fabric, so it'll be a little more snug. Make sure your two pieces are lined up again. knots on it like the other ones. Do it anyway. All right, we're going to pull these out and we're going to iron this top. Let's close the zipper. It's wide open. There we go. All right, this bag's going to have a little bit of curve to it right now just because it's got both sides and the zipper. So warm it up just a little bit. And then I'll pull both sides away from the zipper. And then I use the corner. You see that? Use the corner of my little iron mat. Pull it, iron it. Side lays pretty good already. Okay, I'll just poke this down. Bring this up to about a 4. Sorry, careful. There we go. And then I'll just pull both fabrics, adjusting as I go, and then I'll stitch about an inch or so, and then readjust it. Fabric curls up, that's fine. Just let it do what it wants to do right there. And make sure that the machine feels like it's real easy to do. You won't get any skipped stitches. So if you can see both sides are stitched down. What is this piece for? You will need to sew all 8 corner darts right now. Okay. Pin, clip the straight edges of the darts right sides together. Right side up. Like this. So these are the darts. Then you fold up, just matching their lines. And then I'll match the edge at a 1/4 inch. On this sewing machine, or maybe I won't. Let's try that again. out of sync there. If you've made a dart before, then this makes sense. It was 3/8 of an inch. I'm assuming, because it doesn't tell me otherwise. But all right, so this end's got the corner pinched, and you're going to bring these together at the point. And I should clip back so that the clip is out of my way when I sew. And I guess we do a 3/8. I think that's going to make it pretty tall. Let's do a 1/4 inch on this one. And then you keep the cut line lined up with your mark on your sewing machine. I'm just going to tuck this into about a 2.5. All right, you're going to remove this, and then you're just going to keep going until you fall off the edge, but you keep that straight edge straight with your machine line. You're not supposed to grab back stitch, and then that way you don't have to tie anything. Can you see that? Straight. Next. So I'm going to clip the bottom to hold that point. And I go back pretty far just so that it keeps the fabrics together. And the tip of it, we'll clip back here. And then we'll go again. And then when it's doing that, I should keep my eye on the line instead of the needle area. Otherwise, it kind of throws you off because you want to like veer off. Can you see that? Right sides together. Right off the top. Move your stuff out of the way. It's not going to hurt it to bend it. Not too shabby. Right side. Pinch it to make sure it looks good. And make sure that the corners are good. Check that one. Move it. Move it. Once I get past where I need to, I let this go, and then I can hold it flat and then run off the edge. 4 done. I'm going to scooch up a little bit. Let's do about a 3.5 on this one. Since it's the vinyl, don't want to make too many holes in that. It's hard to move it because the vinyl is like sugared. I like to having, when you turn them out, and if they're wonky, you can kind of see that on the bottom of this bag. So this is the only part where I'm like, really, you got to do it exactly like this, you know. Oops. My foot out of the way. Or my pedal. Gosh, we're almost done with this. Took me longer to cut the damn pieces out. Those are done. Do I trim these? Trim the seam allowance for all corner darts. Okay. Lovely. thread right there. Get them off of there. Now what? Take your D-ring and base stitch the strap to the top of one side. That's my zipper though. About an inch. Jesus, this is so thick. Poke it in a little. Well, let's see what we can do here. I do. Space. Okay, machine. Don't hurt me. Went through all that. Look at how thick this is. 8 million layers later. Open up your zipper at least halfway. Okay. And then pin and clip both lining panels, right sides together and exteriors. Make sure that the seams are lined well as the zipper seams in the middle. You will want the zipper seam allowance to point towards your lining. And do, but I stitched it. Weird. Ew, I don't like this. Okay, why did I top stitch there? Is that right? Wow. Looks weird. Clip it. And clip it. What's going on here? So this kind of does, okay. I don't like that then. Where's the lining? Ooh. Fight with it. Matching. Okay, that one was much better. Right. At least it wasn't a pin. A little wonky like that. Oh, there we go. It's just me. Let's match up the vinyl on the side here. Let's see. match this. When we get to this extra thick tab here, I'll go over it front and back. Otherwise, there's going to be a gap here. And sometimes I look and I'll go back and do another little stitch over if I didn't get it good enough. When we get to these, fold one out, one in. Okay, whatever you say. Let's do this one too then. And then where I went in, I'll go in. Where I went out, I'll go out. Or what did I say? In on this one, out on this one, and then they'll nest. You see how they kind of crissy-cross right there? Ooh, these match. My needles are like matching up perfect. It never happens. All right, so I'm gonna adjust these little. Should be okay. I just want to put one more, just a little more comfortable. Right, so where we went in on the outer, we're going to go out on the inner, and then reverse. Just because. When we sew the lining, we're going to go in just a little bit more down here so it'll fit in here better, because right now this piece and this piece are like the same dimensions. And we're going to leave an opening down here. Okay, then leave a 4-inch opening. That's the middle. I'm just going to draw on this 4-inch. I see why though, because there's a curve there. Don't sew that. I'm going to put one just before. Works. Okay. Okay, we're going to start at one line and sew all the way to the next. I'm going to do just over a 3/8 on this. Two. I need a nice strong hold here. We're doing just over a 1/2 inch seam here, like just over the line. I had the thread in my finger. And then once I start to straighten out, I'm going to start stitching this and come back to 3/8. Once I get to this clip here, I should be at 3/8. And I'm going to take my time here. This has all of my fabric right in this section here, so it should go nice and slow. All good. Supposed to do that. Such a tall order there. And then the rest I'm going to stitch at 3/8. Alright, so now we're going to start to sew this back down to about a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Just over. There's one that's just over. And we're going to sew to the line. Trim your seam allowance except for where you're turning. My final first. This little E-ring holder, I leave it. I'll trim it. And then where you stopped stitching, I'll leave that. Let me get in there. Yeah, leave that one. Turn your wristlet right side out through this opening. Reach in through your zipper. Oh, the hole is too small. Anyway, start poking it out. They say birthing it for a reason. Oh, it's cute. I'm just going to unzip this all the way. Just take your end here and you're going to poke this. And then you'll see your zipper tab. All right, go inside the guts area and then just push everything out. These little guys should be, let's get through the sparkle, but where you did your darts, be evenly lined up. It'll look like a little cross right there. Take everything out. There's your little strap holder. Got your zipper tab thing so that you can see it. I just keep pushing until I can see both sides of the fabric here. Your lining's in the way, just push that down. It's all good. Alright, so your zipper tab should like bump up out of it like that. And then there's a little hole right there. Add over here. So you're just popping everything out so that you can see all of your seam edges coming out. All right, that looks cool. All right, and then do that to your lining too. Pop all that out. All right, this one you might be able to see across a little bit better. Here's your dart. And then here's where you sewed the fabric down. And then this is where you're going to stitch your pocket or your lining closed. So shove that into the bag now. Just to make sure it's got a good fit. You don't need to go back in and do anything else to it. Looks okay. So sparkly. All right, so that looks great. Just gonna go in, pull the lining back out since it looks like it's a good fit. If not, go back in. You'll have to turn it back inside out and sew anything that you don't like. There's a weird little bump and opening, weird spot, something's not laying right. You see any of your basting stitches. Go back in and fix that. And then just hug this area. I don't want to sew anything, so make sure it's a nice straight seam across here, and then I just go right up to the edge and stitch it straight, so just like right on the edge, almost falling out of the presser foot. We got here good. Make sure it's super straight. Just about hanging halfway off of this tiny presser foot. All right, let's shove that back in there. I mean, they're just doing this. That's getting weird. There we go. So, right, here's the bag, nice and sparkly. Front of the bag. Now we gotta try to put a rivet in this thing. Move this out of the way. Just have this on here with a Velcro strap. I don't have baby rivets. I have to put a gunmetal rivet on it. Just because it's so thick. I just didn't order to the rivet place. Oops. There, we've got a rivet and a cap. A hole puncher on. Every size of rivet has its own little like thing to fit in. So I gotta check to make sure I got the right one. Oh, that still fits in there, but not as good. Got this little hole puncher. You hammer it, but I only do that in the garage because it makes holes in everything. The wood, it'll go through the wood table. Okay, so I use this. I use the smallest setting. It's okay. It's cheap. So there's your little lump right there. It's about an inch down. So I'm going to go in between the lump and this lump here. Just eyeball it. Squeeze it. You can hear it popping. I twist it just to make sure it goes through. And then you can see the hole through it. All right, so the top through it. Cap on it. Up just a little bit. See that? Move this out of the way. I need a firmer part on my table. And then I want that the end that has the rivet going up into it. I like that to be facing down. Otherwise, I get hammer happy, and then I get a little indent right there. So I go on the opposite side. Hammer, and I gotta go over here. Sorry, can you see that? Just at my table. It's got another heavy table under it, and this has got nothing under it. So then I'll just lightly strike that and then hammer the hell out of it. You'll see it like smoosh down. And I'll tug at it. If it didn't go, then we'll go again. But this looks good. Rivet there. Pinches it. I don't have to sew it. Looks good. Clip it on your little bag. If this is too soft feeling, there's so much to this that you don't need to, but you can put whichever your front is. I only do it on the front, but cut out a piece of Decoville before you turn the bag, and then put it on this here, this outer piece, and then it stiffens up your bag. But this is comfortable to use. It's, I think, with the canvas for the lining, it really bulks that up enough that you don't have to have another layer of stuff in there. It's not meant to fit in here. Why isn't this locking? There we go. Hammer back in. I'll hold my little hammer on there, just perfect. Give this a little press down here. I'm making a bunch of different other bags like this with this fabric, and then I have a different, slightly similar fabric. It's just got these faces, you know, kind of going in a different pattern. And I have bags like this. Oops. I've got this style. It's got the handle, or you can take it with this, or take these off. Got them in different colors. I've got bigger bags. I'll show you those. Move that up. But they're all in this fabric. So these will go on the Etsy shop as soon as that's up and running, probably in the next couple of weeks here. But this one's probably my favorite. It's got so many zippers in it, cool lining. Nice size strap on it so you can have it over the shoulder comfortably and still move around with it. And I've got the tote bag. I extended these out a little bit so when the handle comes down, it was dragging on the ground. So I just lifted those up a little bit so it'll help the handle not get dirty. I usually put a black base on these so that it doesn't show dirt if you're going to be setting these on the ground. That's the back side. The front side has a zipper with a nice size pocket inside. The top has a zipper that extends so that you can get a wider opening on your bag. And then it has another inner zipper pocket. I do have another bag style that I'm going to try and see if I like it with this pattern, but that's it. I do have a gym bag that I made, but that's exclusively just for me right now, unless people, you know, put in a request to have that done, just because they're so expensive that I just didn't think that anyone else would want to pay that besides me. But all of my vinyls that I have on these are sparkly except for that dark red one. This one looks like pooling blood to me, but there's no sparkle on that one, but all the other ones are glitter vinyl of some sort. Red glitter, black glitter, white glitter. But that's what I got. So that bag is finished, and that'll be up on Etsy probably in the next couple of weeks. Thank you.